Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. One time for the one time, and yes, ma'am. Hit boy on the track, and yeah, man, we're back. So, you see me basically. You saw me take Dalen Terry out of the starting lineup. He was cold. It's not that I feel that that was a failed experiment or anything like that. You feel me? I just thought, hey, we tried it. Let's just not do that anymore. I was really trying to do that to make sure that DeMar DeRozan, him being older, we don't have to give him too much of a limited minutes type role, right? He oftentimes has to recharge his batteries throughout the course of the season, right? As you see Patrick Williams playing center, doing a really, really good job at the center position for us, man. He's taking care of Jared Allen. No one can just come down low and, finish at the rim while he's there. And I believe he's like a +6 kind of guy, one of those guys that has like a fantastic wingspan, but isn't necessarily a 6'8", 6'9", really kind of shorter for the position, but because of his his wingspan and his athleticism and his activity level, right? He's great to play bigger than what he usually plays. You see him make another defensive play there. And of course, you see me doing what I do, finishing at the rim at a high clip, defensively Caruso making plays, right? I was just on YouTube and I read somewhere that Alex Caruso has been traded to the OKC Thunder for Josh Giddey. I know it has really nothing to do with what's going on in the video, right? But it's real life. We just saw Alex Caruso make a great defensive play and finish with a 3-point shot on a break as we get our lead up to 10. The Cavs have hung around in this game, but we're continually dumping on them and keeping them down. But yeah, man, microphone, right? I was watching one of his videos. He talks about how Josh Giddey, the guy who I think they said he was caught. I don't know if he was brought up on charges, but he was caught DMing some underage girl or something like that, right? So little stuff like that, plus also the benching that he had to sustain in the final, or was it the West or something? At some point against the Mavs, he got benched, right? Aside from whatever off the court issues he may be, going through or whatever, right? I think that Josh Giddey is a great player, 6'8". On this game, he's a shooting guard that can play the point guard. Type of guy like him, whenever I was playing like 2K13, I typically, like when I wanted to make a new squad, I'd go with like some rookies. I'd preferably go after like 2 6'8" point guard or shooting guards that can play the point guard. Maybe make them an inch taller, ask them to play the center position, right? Now I know they can play a little perimeter defense. I know they can also, play point guard, right? They bring a nice, well-rounded skill set to the game. Josh Giddey, one thing that I don't like about the trade is that we get rid of Alex Caruso, right? A guy who he's one of my favorite players in this young Bulls core, this roster, right? Him over Levine, Lonzo, over Kobe White, over Ayo Dosunmu. And it's not that I don't like those guys, right? I like Ayo. Ayo's from Illinois. He's an Illinois, baller type guy, right? I don't really have too much of a negative opinion of Kobe White, right? You know what I'm saying? On this game, oftentimes, Kobe White is more of a scorer. Same thing with Ayo. These are scoring type guards, right? As you see, they're fouling now. We're up by 6 in the latter portions of the game. Your boy's gonna take the free throw shots. I'm gonna miss one because that's kind of weird. Whatever. I have 61 points. It doesn't matter, right? I make the second, and it's a 7-point lead. We get the W. We walk out of there with your boy scoring 62 points. Anyway, the trade for Caruso for Giddey. Like I said, Giddey, we have the All-Star Weekend. I forgot to mention that, right? Your boy has a full agenda in the All-Star Weekend. I do want to talk about that trade. But right now, let's talk a little about the All-Star Weekend, right? Your boy is going to be doing a lot. Basically a full agenda, right? I'm going to be at the Rising Stars Challenge, right? You've already seen that your boy is going to be a 3-point shot or 3-point contest contestant, right? And I figured out why whenever they would show, because in some videos they show like the dunk contest and you see my name like at the very top, but it like sort of be like blocking out the actual word dunk contest contestants. The reason for that is because I'm going to also be participating in the dunk contest, mostly due to this like recent string of just 50, 40, 50 point games where I'm just basically dunking at the rim all game long. So that'll get you a spot in the dunk contest, right? Right. But anyway, here we are in the Rise of Stars challenge. I forgot that in this game, first off, the minutes are locked at 8, right? So there's nothing you can do. You will be playing 8-minute quarters if you play in this game, right? You can only get in it if you're in your first 2 seasons. And as you can see here, I also forgot that this is not the Bulls, right? We don't have my playbook, right? Oh my goodness, that was nasty. I think that's Amen. Amen or All-Star Time, one of the Thompson twins. You will see them in the dunk contest. They're crazy with those finishes, right? Can't shoot, but can finish at the rim at a high clip. It's both of them 6'7", 6'6" or something like that, right? You know what I'm saying? You see me get the move, try to get the move going, and yeah, they're not having it. The Rising Stars guys, you know, I feel like I'm better than all of these guys in terms of what I've been able to do throughout the season. I probably beaten all these guys in an actual game with my team versus their team. I'm not gonna try to take that. Instead, I'm just pass that to Chet Holmgren and he's gonna finish that, right? And we're up by 1, right? We're Team USA. The blue team is Team World. I get the ball on the cut and I finish there. And yeah, man, these guys are just kind of sick of me at this point, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm taking all the shine, right? Trying to score all the points in basically an all-star game. They're not feeling it. I don't care. But that's just how it is, right? They don't like me. They want to try to put me on my stuff in this game and embarrass me in some way, shape, or form, as you see me basically demand the ball at that point. I'm playing point guard, so I shouldn't have to do that, but I'm going to do it nonetheless. And I'm going to try to get my move going right here. As you can see, I'm not doing it properly, right? That might be the reason why I'm not able to put up more points. I was kind of getting irritated in this game. Because at this point, it's like, this is, I mean, don't get me wrong. It is an honor to be at these types of games, right? But this has no bearing on like my team's success. All it is, you don't get any VC for these games, right? All this is just a young all-star, rising stars game, right? It's cool. I like being here, but it's not. You want to be here if you're in your first 2 seasons in the league. That's it. This is where you want to be. And if you can make the All-Star game, then this game does kind of feel inconsequential, as you see me blow what should have been an easy finish at the rim. I'm trying to get to the rim there. I finally get the ball in a good position. I don't make the shot. I don't get the board. I got a piece of it, but I don't get the board. And the world team is up by 9. And right there, yeah, I just said, okay, I'm done. Why don't you go on ahead and sit me down and let someone else get some shine. And I will show you later on in the video all the guys that make it or that made it to this All-Star game. Just quickly to go back to the situation with Josh Giddey being traded for Alex Caruso. As I've already said, Caruso is a guy who I like, right? I like Caruso. They got the Thompson twins on the same team. And I feel like, so that one guy who did that one finish, oh no, yeah, he was on our team. Was he on our team? No, yeah, he wasn't on our team. It was someone else, probably Mathurin or Bilal Coulibaly or whatever, right? But again, back to what I was saying about Caruso, as we would win this game by 2 points. Caruso, he was formerly of those Lakers, right? I just want to also throw out there, I do know that Doug McDermott he was a rookie for the Bulls back then. I know that. I didn't mention it, whatever. 3-point contest. And I was very excited about this. I know I keep jumping back and forth, right? You know what I'm saying? I was getting the jumper right. First time I feel like on 2K, I was actually very confident with my jump shot, my 3-point shot. I actually made it one of my strengths. In every other 2K, my 3-point shot was never really a thing I put too much focus into, right? As you'll see me basically fast forward towards a later portion in each contestant's, you know, shooting basically towards the end, right? Because I'm not going to show you the whole thing, right? I'm sorry. I can't do it, right? I, you know, realized a little too late that, you know, basically, yeah, you can't skip any of this, right? You can't skip any of it. If you are a contestant in the three-point contest, you have to sit through it all and just be a part of it, right? And it's no issue for me, right? Your boy is cool with being a part of it. Hey, it's still an honor, right, to say, hey, I was one of the members of the Rising Stars Challenge as a first year, second year player, right? You know what I'm saying? That's like, hey, I'm on my way to being an all-star in this league. If I didn't make the all-star team in my first or second year, which in many cases you just don't, and it's not a bad thing if you don't in your first 2 seasons, right? That third season, you kind of do want to make it if you've been a 2-year player in the Rising Stars Challenge. If you don't, it's not that it's a failure, right? Sometimes you're just playing in a conference that is tough to get out of as an all-star. That happens, right? Finally, your boy's turn, and I'm gonna show you, I think I'll show you the whole thing, right? I don't remember. Yeah, I will start off from the beginning. Here we go. Super excited, right, to finally get going. I start off not so strong. I'm like, man, come on now. I usually shoot well. I was doing a lot of practice with my jump shot on Hall of Fame mode. I left it on Hall of Fame mode, and I was a little upset because keep in mind, right, when I was playing on rookie, I was dropping that thing like constantly. And at this point, I'm starting to regret, right, putting it or keeping it on Hall of Fame mode just for a second. Then I start greening, and I'm like, okay, I got it, right? And I'm not paying attention, right? I'm not looking at when I'm about to finish my jump, the peak of my jump. And I'm just doing horrible at this point. 3 racks in, and I've only made 2 buckets, and I'm running out of time. I'm about to I'm gonna tell you, I don't finish. 7, 6, 5, 4, yeah, I don't finish. And I made sure the money ball was the last rack. And this is just harsh. I finished with a score of 5. And yeah, man, I'm gonna let you just watch a little, because at that point, that's when I realized I can't even quit. So I'm not even gonna show you Kyrie. I'm just gonna skip all the way to the end. Desmond Bane wins. And I was just a little error, right? It was hurtful. But anyway, man, back to what I was saying about your boy Caruso, right? One of my favorite guys in this on that young Bulls team is we'll go to the dunk contest, right? You'll see the Thompson twins. You'll see the one kid, Shaden Sharp, do his thing, right? Caruso's a great defender, right? On this team, in real life, on this game. And Josh Giddey, he's not. He's a ball-dominant, tall guard who is on a team with a ball-dominant, tall guard who's the star player. Giddey's still young. So they just figure we got our guard of the future. So let's go on ahead and offload him for a defender, right? As I don't make it. I know that was just harsh. I get a 0, and I'll skip ahead to my second attempt. I've never been able to get an attempt down in the dunk. I've been to the dunk contest before. I never make a dunk. I always post a score of 0, albeit I get here every year because I dunk in basically 20 times a game, right? All-star game, right? This is a nice little highlight. First season, and your boy's in the all-star game, right? I didn't put the quarters on a certain time limit, but I did make sure to say, hey, I'm in the game. I'm happy. I was selected. Right? Your boy balling, right? He's doing his thing here. I'm actually playing pretty well, scoring a decent clip, right? But it's the all-star game, right? So you got to accept that you're not going to be able to play a ton in this game, right? I would get a couple buckets in the first half, and then your boy would have to sit out for the remainder of the second half because we got so much talent out here. Team Giannis wins. And again, no salary for this game. You just, hey, you won or you lost or whatever, right? Now I can finally talk, as you see me put some finishing badges on. Now I can finally talk about Caruso. And I'm basically saying the same thing, right? Caruso's a great defender, right? Losing him for a guy who doesn't really play a lot of defense on a team with guys like Zach LaVine and Kobe White and Ayo Dosunmu. Ayo and Kobe and LaVine, they use their length well at the 1 and the 2 spot, but they're kind of all 3 of them stuck in that very no man's land 6'5" tweener height right? 6'5" is like pretty elite for a point guard, pretty average for a 2 guard. Even by today's standards, where a ton of guys are 6'5" and 6'4" playing the 10, 6'3" playing the 2 and the 3. You still have to deal with the fact that as a 2, you might have to switch out on a taller wing, right? And at 6'5", you just feel better suited to play the 1 and just list yourself south of 6'5", right? 6'4", right? Because at 6'5", if there are things you can't do, it just kind of makes you look weak. If you're 6'4" and there are things you can't do, like guard a taller player, you don't look as bad. But at 6'5", the expectation is that you can guard a guy that's at least 6'8". And in most cases, that's not always really the case, right? Most guys that are 6'5" really only thrive at the point guard position, as you see me charge, right? Really only thrive at the point guard position, knowing that they're taking on guys that are typically an inch or 2 shorter than them, maybe even much shorter than that, as opposed to these, you know, taller guards who obviously will thrive, like Josh Giddey offensively will thrive. And with 6'8" in height, you'd think that he'd be a better defender playing the 1 or the 2, and he's not. And he has playmaking tendencies, but he has no two-way capability, or exhibits no two-way capabilities. You see me call a timeout because I want the ball, and they won't give it to me. DeRozan will take the shot, he'll make it, but yeah, whatever, right? And a team that has just a lot of great offensive players, and a team whose culture is rooted in defense, right? It's just weird that we give up a certified lockdown two-way sharpshooting defender for a guy who, you know, is more of an offensive, you know, initiator, guard type player. And mind you, it's even more weird because we have a Kobe White. I know Lonzo isn't playing, so in real life, you can't really count him. But we have a Kobe White, a guard of the future, as Patrick Williams just does not make me very happy with that shot. Instead of passing me the ball, I could have gotten the ball up in time. But we have a Kobe White. And he makes that with heck of contest. We have we have young offensive oriented score first guards on this team. So for me, getting yet another one, I'm starting to feel like there are indications of a rebuild in the works for us as the team, the Bulls in real life, right? If Lonzo Ball doesn't show up sooner rather than later, I think that they are going to go in the direction of a rebuild, right? Because quite honestly, we have not made the playoffs. We've been a consistent play-in team since 2020, and we have not been a playoff team or a playoff mainstay, and it's kind of sad. You would think with the talent that we have on this roster, we could get that done. We could get into the finals or get into the playoffs. As you see me and basically the team really starting to play kind of poorly, and I get in one. And now the Pelicans are up by 2. I get the ball though, and I finish at the rim. But yeah, man, I just don't like the move. It's not that I don't like getting Josh Giddey. I do like the guy as a basketball player. As a person, I have question marks about him, his personality, some of the things he's been accused of or caught in the act of doing, preferably the situation with the underage girl, right? It's none of my business though, right? You know what I'm saying? I don't really care about that part of his life in terms of, you know, you never know. Parents might have given permission, whatever, right? I don't know. All I know is that as a basketball player, if he can keep his nose clean off the court, he'd be a great asset to the team. As you see, we're down by 5. This is a very uncommon thread here, right? Right. But yeah, man, I do want to see what we're capable of with him. I do think he's a star caliber player, Josh Giddey. I do like having him on the team. I just don't like what we gave up to get him. We just made the OKC Thunder a championship team. In my opinion, they're now most likely going to be a championship caliber team because they have a great two-way defender, which is what they were talking about in that Death of the Power Forward video, which, you know, in my opinion, that's going to color a lot of what I say. right? Because first of all, you got to consider Giannis. He's a true to the bone power forward in today's NBA. Kyle Kuzma is a true to the bone power forward in today's NBA. He's more of a combo forward, but he's still a true to the bone power forward in today's NBA. Julius Randle, undersized a little bit, but still a true to the bone power forward in today's NBA. As we're creeping up on these guys, the Pelicans. I'm almost gonna say the Hornets, I'm sorry, but we're creeping up on them. And I'm trying to keep the ball out of that guy's hands. He finally gets it, but I don't know if he's gonna, he loses it. But then Valanciunas gets it back. He misses, and here comes the burn, right? Your boy about to get to the rim and about to finish. And now we're up, we're back. But yeah, man, there are maybe like, I wanna say close to a handful of actual like true to the bone power forwards in today's NBA, right? And for the most part, I will say that Levine, being more of a two guard who did come into the league as a point guard, but his passing has not, come such a long way. Right? We've already had to take on Levine. So getting Josh Giddey is great, but again, now we have to build around him. And I really want the Bulls to, because what the Bulls did effectively with getting DeRozan and stuff like that, they have stockpiled assets, right? In an effort to see, like what every NBA team is doing, stockpiling assets to see who's going to emerge as that guy. Instead of just choosing, as we will pull away with a 3-point victory over the Pelicans. So I'd like for them to choose perhaps Josh Giddey, if not Kobe White, and build a team around these guys in real life, much like how I'm going to basically oblige them to do as I get my endorsement with 2K. But anyways, I'm going to get up out of here after this. Get at me and function with your boy.